The future of our Minnesota Vikings is being decided right now behind closed doors at TCO Performance Center, and the stakes couldn't be higher for the Skol Nation. We felt the frustration of missed opportunities before, but this search for a new leader is a genuine turning point for our franchise. As an insider who lives and breathes this team, I can tell you the vibe in the building is shifting toward a massive homecoming. This isn't just about a job, it's about finding the soul of our front office. Terrence Gray is the name everyone in league circles is talking about as the potential next general manager of our beloved franchise. This isn't just a random candidate, because he actually started his career right here in Minnesota as a scout under the previous regime. Now he's coming off a massive success story with the Buffalo Bills, where he helped build a powerhouse as their assistant general manager. But he isn't the only one on the list that we need to discuss today. The search is wide and includes heavy hitters like James Lipfort from the Houston Texans, who has a background with the Patriots dynasty. We are also looking at Mike Bradway from the Kansas City Chiefs and Andy Weidel from the Pittsburgh Steelers, who both have incredible track records of finding talent in the draft. Then you have Ed Dodd from the Indianapolis Colts and the experienced Jeff Ireland from the New Orleans Saints, who has actually been a general manager before with the Dolphins. Internally, we cannot ignore Rob Brzezinski, who is currently acting as the interim leader, and Ryan Grigson, who is already in the building as an assistant. Head coach Kevin O'Connell is going to be a massive part of this process because whoever gets this job has to be perfectly aligned with his vision for the offense. The rumors are heating up that the team has already done a mountain of due diligence behind the scenes to make sure they don't swing and miss on this hire. Fans are understandably nervous because we've seen how a bad front office can waste the best years of a roster. This list of 8 names shows that the organization is looking for someone with deep scouting roots who understands how to build through the draft. Gray is seen as the favorite by many insiders because he already knows the landscape of the Twin Cities and understands what it takes to win in the cold. It is a complex situation with many moving parts, but the goal is clear, which is to find a partner for O'Connell who can finally deliver a championship. We are at a crossroads where the next few weeks will define the next decade of Vikings football. Focusing on the frontrunner, we have to look at why a return to Minnesota makes so much sense for the man who once walked these same hallways as a young scout. He learned the ropes here before being poached by the Buffalo Bills at the start of their most successful era in decades. Since he arrived in Buffalo, they have consistently found stars in the middle rounds of the draft and built a roster that is the envy of the league. That is exactly what our Vikings need right now because we cannot afford to keep missing on high-value picks. If he brings that same scouting magic back to the Midwest, the entire landscape of the NFC North could shift in our favor. The front office knows that the relationship between the general manager and the head coach is the most important bond in the building. In the past, we have seen friction in this organization lead to missed opportunities and wasted talent. By bringing in someone who has a background in college scouting, the team is signaling that they want to stop overpaying for veterans and start building a sustainable winner from the ground up. This potential executive has been praised by national experts for being right on the doorstep of a top job for years now. His resume is built on hard work and finding players that other teams overlook. When you look at the success of the Bills over the last 5 seasons, you see his fingerprints all over that defensive unit and the depth of their roster. Our team needs that same level of detail-oriented leadership to navigate the salary cap and the draft. We are talking about a person who understands the pressure of this market and wouldn't be intimidated by the high expectations of the fans. The speculation is that the search committee is looking for a scouter's scout, and he fits that description perfectly. While the other candidates like the rising star from the Texans or the veteran from the Saints are impressive, the local connection here is almost too perfect to ignore. It feels like a story that is coming full circle for the franchise and the fans who have been waiting for a clear direction. Winning in the NFL is a complicated puzzle, but the answer often starts with who is picking the players. If our team makes the right choice here, it means more than just a new face in the front office. It means we could finally see a roster that doesn't have major holes every single season. We want to see a team that can dominate the line of scrimmage and protect our playmakers. This decision will help the team win more games because a great general manager knows how to find the right pieces that fit the coach's system. Think about how much better life would be if we didn't have to worry about the defense falling apart in the fourth quarter. A smart hire here ensures that we have the depth to survive injuries and the talent to compete with the best teams in the playoffs. It simplifies everything for the players on the field when they know the guys next to them are the best possible options. We are talking about the difference between being a middle-of-the-pack team and being a true Super Bowl contender. For the older fans who have seen every high and low of this franchise, you know that the most successful eras always started with a strong front office. When the person in charge of the roster and the person in charge of the players are on the same page, magic happens. This move is about making sure our head coach has every tool he needs to succeed. It is about avoiding those frustrating seasons where we feel like we are just one or two players away from greatness. By hiring someone with a proven track record of finding talent, we are investing in the long-term health of the team. This is how you build a dynasty rather than just a one-year wonder. We need a leader who can look at a college player and see a future Hall of Famer for the Vikings. The impact of this hire will be felt on every single Sunday for the next 5 to 10 years. It is the foundation of everything we hope to achieve as a fan base and as a community that loves this team. Consider the two very different paths that our Minnesota Vikings could take as we move toward this new era of leadership. In the best-case scenario, the team hires a scouting mastermind who immediately identifies the missing pieces of our puzzle. We could see a draft class that brings in 3 or 4 starters who change the identity of the team overnight. Imagine a defense that is feared across the league and an offense that scores at will because the offensive line is finally elite. This path leads us to the top of the division and keeps us there for a long time. It would be the kind of stability we haven't seen in years, and it would make every Sunday a celebration for the fans. But we also have to face the darker possibility of what happens if this hire goes wrong. If the team chooses someone who doesn't mesh with the coaching staff, we could see more years of internal fighting and wasted draft picks. We've all seen teams that stay stuck in mediocrity because the front office and the coaches are speaking different languages. That path leads to a frustrated locker room and a fan base that feels like they are being let down once again. The tension right now is palpable because the decision makers know they cannot afford to get this wrong. Every interview and every background check is a high-stakes move in a game that determines our future. If this works, we are talking about a parade through the streets of Minneapolis. If it fails, we are looking at another total rebuild in just a few years. That is why the search is so thorough and why so many names are being considered. The organization is trying to balance the need for experience with the desire for a fresh, young perspective. It is a narrow tightrope to walk, but the rewards at the end are worth the risk. We are all waiting with bated breath to see which name is finally announced at the podium. This is the ultimate test for the ownership, and the future of our franchise is hanging in the balance as we wait for the final decision. The search for a new general manager is the most important story in Minnesota right now, and it will dictate the success of our Vikings for years to come. With 8 strong candidates like Terrence Gray leading the pack, the organization has a difficult but exciting choice to make. We need a leader who understands our history and has the vision to lead us to a championship. This is a moment where the passion of the fans meets the cold reality of the business. As we watch these interviews unfold, I want to hear from you because your voice is the heartbeat of this team. Be honest with me right now. Do you think bringing back a former scout like Gray is the right move, or would you rather see the team go with a complete outsider who has fresh eyes? The Skol Nation deserves a winner, and it starts with this hire. If you want to stay updated on every single move the Vikings make this offseason, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Don't forget to like this video to show your support for the purple and gold.